All right, yo, here we are. After some hectic pre-production, we managed to makeshift this shit into a Millennial Hipsters podcast. Sorry, I'm not supposed to swear so soon.
Makeshift shit.
And I have to be cognizant of not saying the word like.
And now that I know how many people listen to this, I have to fucking think about what the fuck I say now.
No.
Oh my god.
We love
Why did you tell me that information? I didn't think anybody fucking listened to it.
Because you never put it out.
Yeah, exactly. So how the hell are people listening to it?
That's the problem when people actually start listening.
Fuck.
You gotta be careful what you say.
Now people think this is how I am in real life.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, okay,
I'm playing a character, guys.
Playing a podcast where we come to vent.
That's why when you see me in real life, I'm Boof, and here I'm Boof Matter. Whole different person, dog.
Yeah, I'm Instagram. You guys don't actually know my name.
I'm a whole different person, dog. I'm quiet as fuck. So, we're back. Episode 18. I can't believe, episode 18 is, listen, 18 episodes is...
We made it. We're leaving.
I'm waiting till we get like a couple hundred and like those podcasts that people actually listen to.
My goodness, my beard is going to be to the floor at that point in time. But yeah, we are legal, insane. We still can't buy alcohol. We can vote though. The podcast can vote.
Yes.
And we can drink at this table and pretend we're drink champs.
Yikes.
Biting off of their style.
So we have Sourpuss, Tangray, we have Soul Beer, Appleton Estate. I like tonic. I like mixing my shit with tonic. I actually like mixing myself with club soda because it doesn't add any taste. You know what I mean? So let's get started. I actually have some topics in my head.
Well, I just want to get one thing out of the way, because we want to be funny and shit on the cast.
Later on, right?
Yeah,
so let's get the serious shit.
R.I.P. XXXTentacion. Tragic loss for hip hop.
To any fans out there, you guys probably already know, but like to people who haven't really heard of who this guy is, he was an up and coming SoundCloud rapper. Very ahead of his time. Only 20 years old. He got gunned down a couple days ago in his hometown of Florida. And it was kind of a big shock and a wake up call to the entire hip hop community. So
especially these young guys who are walking around talking shit like 24/7, saying come at me.
Exactly.
I got no security.
Yeah.
Come at me, bros, and then shit hits the fan eventually.
Yeah. So unfortunately, he got gunned down the other day. So condolences to his family, his fans, and shit. I wasn't a huge fan of his, not because I didn't like him, mostly because I didn't really listen to his shit that much. But the few tracks that he came out with were very different from the normal trap sound that you would hear from younger artists these days. And he sounded like he was pushing it in a different direction and giving people something different. He really stood out amongst his peers. That's what I would say about him. So it's unfortunate still, but what does everybody else have to? What everybody thoughts on this last tragic event?
I know X was his the subject matter of his raps were different. I think that's what helped him establish the niche that he was really targeting. You know what I mean? It was more emo than usual, and I think, and I'll be real, I really wasn't heavy into XXXTentacion until he passed. And like anyone, when the old adage is that you get famous after you pass on. I immediately went on to Apple Music. I started just whoring out all of his playlists. And there are some amazing songs by this guy. You know what I mean? I particularly like Sad is such a sick song.
Sad is a great song.
And I only heard it, unfortunately, a day after he passed. That is a great song. Yeah. And then I started familiarizing myself with his sound, and the lyrical content is just so, it's very different. And that's what's something you kind of appreciate with his sound, with his music. He raps. He's a good spitter, and he's also like a good
vocalizer.
Yeah, like he's a good like melodic artist, which is cool. How he kind of puts the both different worlds into his sound. And he also, I mean, I know him on Roll in Peace as he features with Kodak.
It's like that was like one of our biggest tracks last year that we used to bang. It was like just heavy. It's a heavy sound in the car.
It is a heavy sound in the car.
If you guys haven't heard that track, pull it up. It's called Roll in Peace, Kodak Black featuring XXX and that shit goes hard, like, you know, with the bass and everything. So try that out, play it in your car or whatever.
Yeah, that's a car banger.
Yeah.
And X's verse on it is sick. And I think I'm going to continue familiarizing myself with his music. He died young.
20, man.
Yeah, it's insane. And to be killed in your hometown is like, is super tragic. It's like if one, you know, it is tragic. I think it just goes into the old adage where a lot of hip hop musicians feel like they're always tied to the hood. You know, they can never escape the hood. You know, the hood, if anyone's going to get them, it's someone from their own block.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I feel like he didn't want to escape the hood, though. He was always calling for people to, like, come at him and stuff, right? And he kind of lived to fight. Like, you know what I mean? He was always getting in fights. People, but he got knocked out on stage once.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he had a beef with some rapper, and they came at him on stage.
Well, I feel like, you know, because I used to, I didn't follow him on social media, but I would see like certain posts, like, you know, throughout like Instagram or what have you, and he was a very conflicted guy. So like, you know, I don't know if he had some type of mental issue or something like that, probably bipolar or something, but, you know, one minute he'd be on his like, you know, yo, kill everybody Tupac shit, right? And then another minute he'd be, you know, on his positive level, you know, kind of spreading positive vibes, hoping for positive vibes throughout his, you know, his community and stuff like that.
Advise all his fans.
Yeah, exactly. But this is one big part of, like, you know, his backstory, that, you know, he allegedly beat up his pregnant girlfriend or something like that, like the year before, and he was in trial for that, and he was on trial for that. He was in jail for a little bit awaiting trial and stuff like that. And after that, I guess the experience in jail, he came out with a fresh new mindset, and he, like, for the past,
he was under house arrest second time.
Okay, second time he was under house arrest, and like he kind of changed from that, which, you know, a lot of people do when they, you know, are mixed up in negative situations in their life. You know, he probably saw the light or something like that, and he was kind of preaching positivity for the last like year or so.
A lesson learned.
Yeah, and he even, like, you know, involved himself in like charitable events and stuff like that, and like he was really trying to change his ways. So it's not like he was always about negativity and, like, you know, come get me and all this type of stuff, but, like, you know, he expressed himself in different ways. That's all I'd say, like, from what I can get.
It's a shame the timing of it, because it did really look like you said, like he was trying to change at this point in time, and he was trying to get away from all that stuff. Sorry, just to cut you off, he seemed to be like one of those guys that, like, who made it. He had the millions and stuff. Like, he just recently, you know, signed $1 million deal and stuff with a big record company, and he was still in the hood. Like, he didn't move out. He could have moved out the hood. He could have bought a place, got security, got a lot of people around him, you know, to get him away from dangers of the hood. But he was such a genuine person that he stayed in the hood, and he was just like, you know what, this is me, this is my life, this is who I am. I'm not going away from the hood. All my friends and family are here. Wouldn't be here. When they got
some people are like that.
He was shopping for motorcycles or something.
Yeah,
and he was basically by himself. Like, you don't see many of these rapper guys,
and he's super famous
by themselves. They're always either with their crew or with some sort of security
bodyguard, at least with like their crew or whatever.
Yeah.
Just for backup.
I just have a couple of things to say after we kind of pay homage to his career and what he was all about and his sound. I think, it's important to get those things out of the way. But I will say that, like, when I went online, I just started reading, like, public opinion about his death, specifically from people that don't even know him, that aren't familiar with his music, with his works. Just people coming out and just saying, like, good that he died, like, good that, you know what I mean? Like, he was a womanizer. He beat his pregnant girlfriend. I'm glad he's dead. I think, you have to come from a very different perspective when somebody dies and you rejoice in the death of somebody else. Especially now where people just like blatantly just fire out their opinions. And I think people they see the narrative of X and they see, he was a woman beater, he beat his pregnant girlfriend, he was charged and whatnot.
There's a fact that was alleged. They didn't even like convict him.
Right. So exactly, he was still owed his due process in which he was going to be in court for to fight a trial and whatnot. And I think where we are now, it's like, people hold court online and you're guilty before you're even tried in court. You know what I mean? But I do think it's kind of nasty. It is frankly disgusting how people are just like, good that he died. Good riddance. He was not even because of that. He was a shitty artist. Good that he's dead. It's like if I didn't wear any Kate Spade, if I thought Kate Spade's shit was ugly, good that she's dead now. You know what I mean? Anthony Bourdain's show sucked. Good. He's rotting in the ground now. Like, his show sucked anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that's kind of whack. I think people do it to hip hop especially because I think people are scared of hip hop taking over the airwaves and they want to find any way to just kind of derogate it. Hip hop has always been derogated. It's always been attacked. And I just think it's just whack how people are just like, good that he died and whatnot. I've heard people say this in real life to me, like, I was like, did you hear how X died? And they're like, yeah, well, I heard he hit his girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
He deserved death.
Like he deserved death. The thing is, like, people like Hitler are revered. Sorry, people like Elvis. Elvis died on his toilet ODing, man, and he's still a legend. And like we still hearing about Elvis. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think when people just like they see the narrative, they see the headlines and like, this guy was bad, therefore he good that he's dead. Also, he was 20 years old. Right? I mean, I get that you're an adult legally, but how can we hold? Of course we hold you.
He did those crimes when he was a teenager.
Yeah, he did them before he was.
Or like allegedly, we have to still use that word.
This guy stabbed his mom's boyfriend when he was 6 years old. So,
but how can you hold them accountable?
What was the circumstance under that? Was he trying to protect his mom or not?
I don't know. They just said he was doing.
He had a very rough and different upbringing than any of us here.
That's another thing. So that's why I wasn't the first to pass judgment. I really try hard to judge musicians on the music first. That is it. If your music sucks, it doesn't help, right? It doesn't help the narrative against you. If you're out here and people are calling you a fucking child molester, like 6ix9ine, and your music is shit. Like, not that I think though, but like if people don't vibe with your music plus that, those things are gonna kind of correlate, and people are gonna look at you in a bad light.
Imagine if everybody knew all the shit you did within your life. And like, all the bad stuff, all the good stuff, and like by the time you died, like you were just judged on the bad stuff that you did in your life.
Right.
When you were young.
Yeah, and
like that's insane to me.
A lot of people think that's what death is, though, right? They think when you're at the gates, you're judged on all the bad shit you did, only the bad shit, right? And I think people just try to emulate that in real life. So like, well, you know what? He did all this bad shit when he was here. He's gonna rot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think age plays a big part in this, though, because like he had his whole life ahead of him, right? He could have made so many. He's still
immature, man. He's 20. Think about yourself at 20 years old. You know,
dude, I was a fucking dumbass.
Exactly.
Like just looking back, like there's so many fucking stupid decisions I made, and like so many stupid shit I said, and like so many stupid things I did.
I think
all together. Like,
I also think that because people don't vibe with his music, it's easy for them to say like, oh, he hit his girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like the mainstream ODing because Elvis is like such an icon. No one ever says like, yo, the dude died on his toilet ODing. No one ever
I heard
says
he was
those
abusive
things.
as well.
Yeah, like fuck yeah, come on, man. He had groupies all
He
the
was
same, like,
racist as well.
there
to
it
black
is,
people.
and no one talks about these things.
Yeah.
You know,
He's the best.
he's the best. He's the best.
You guys are ruining
we
my
the
idol.
So I just think it's particularly whack how like when somebody dies, like listen, if he's alive and whatever, and you don't like him, and like let him have his day, you can have your opinion. You can still have your opinion on him. You know what I mean? In death, in life, you can still have your opinion on him. But I just don't think now that he's dead, we can all just swamp
Pile on
Yeah,
him.
right.
Well,
I mean,
you know what's funny? He had a tweet out, and some people like posted this on Instagram, and even our niece posted on Snapchat. It literally just said, you know, nobody gives a fuck till you're dead. And
He posted that.
yeah, like earlier this month probably.
Damn.
The one, and it's, you know, I mean, that's what it boils down to. I mean, like, people wouldn't be putting their opinion so strongly right now if he was alive.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts, Boof? Like you were the hugest X fan here.
really?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's
Yo,
say
this guy put me onto X like early.
Look at me, yeah. I remember.
I was
told me about that.
He told me about fuck with me or look at me.
Look at me.
Yeah, my bad.
that
Yeah.
song blew up for
That's
me.
how much we don't know. Yeah, like
It blew up like a year ago, pretty much.
Yeah.
I've been listening to it for the last year, and I've been fucking with his old shit. I love his old
oh,
shit.
that's true. You do, right? You do.
Yeah, this guy
You're
was
like
the first guy on him.
Boof is, for anyone that doesn't know, Boof is like a super YouTube like
Underground.
Like, he goes on YouTube and
digs.
goes into the rabbit holes of music, and then he shows us random tracks he finds, and then we're blown away because like I'm a chump. I'm looking on like Apple Music. I'm looking on these
Apple
mainstream
Music.
stupid outlets. Whereas like when you go on YouTube, there are gems on there, and you don't even know they're there.
Oh yeah. YouTube and SoundCloud. You
So
have to
yeah,
dig.
you should speak on that.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. It did kind of hit me hard because it was just so random, you know. And I was just thinking about, you know, him and his music a few days prior. I'm like, yo, X hasn't, you know, I didn't really hear about Sad, to be honest. Like I didn't.
That's his most mainstream song.
Yeah.
I would say "Look at Me" though.
Oh, Look At Me-
is like
Look at
up
Me and
there.
Sad, I
but
think.
Sad is like a hitter. Too.
that came out in March though.
That got
It's like,
10.4 million
Yeah.
listens
It's huge.
the day after he died.
Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah, exactly.
Which is
So
crazy.
it's like I don't know. I even liked his old stuff. Some of it was like hip hop. When I first dug into his stuff, I started realizing he didn't just do hip hop. He had some rock and roll type tracks, like some really like hard, heavy shit. And I was like, damn, like nothing else sounds like this.
He was like the emo rapper kid. He's
Yeah, I called him the heavy metal
This guy
of
did
rap.
rock
Like,
rap.
he was doing like rock
yeah.
rap, like. So I mean, okay, let me just fast forward to like, yeah, like it happened, and I was like, shit, like fuck, like that just hit the music industry. Like to me, he was on
He was the next guy.
He was on the verge of like, because he knew he had mistakes. Like he knows he was flawed, and he wasn't shy about that, and he wasn't shy about knowing that he had shit to correct in his life, and
Put it on the table.
he put it on the table. He was on his Instagram story all day and stuff, just, you know, talking positive shit. You know, like he's coming out of his teenage life. Like, yeah, he was a little emo. Fuck, we all were, and, you know, some of us still are and shit like that. But like the music was his outlet, like purely, like that's what he did. And yeah, for him to be taken away, it's a tragedy. 'Cause
Yeah.
he was on the way, and
I think his versatility is what interests people.
Yeah,
like us,
yeah.
like older listeners like us. It's his versatility, his ability to kind of just go on all these different kind of tracks.
You know why? You know why? Because I think that kind of echoes of artists from yesteryear for us. Like the artists that we knew back in the day, I feel that they were more versatile. They cared more about individual style.
I don't know why, but I think of Lauryn Hill. She comes to mind.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
she
yeah.
could rap, she could sing.
Yeah, exactly.
She could do both on the same track.
Yeah, exactly. And she had her own defined style than other artists of her generation, right?
And for us to see a male do it, for us, is even crazier. Yeah.
And like, you know, a lot of artists today sound like each other. Like,
Absolutely.
you know,
Yeah,
back in the day, everybody had their defined style. You could tell exactly who you're listening to when you listen to them.
Right. Right.
Right. So that's kind of the same thing with X. Like
he separated
as soon as you
himself from
heard him, like
Anyways.
you knew exactly who you were listening to.
Anybody else have any thoughts on it?
It does kind of suck. It sucks that I'll never see him live.
Yeah,
That's another thing.
He's
You know?
If he was in Toronto, I would go. I would have.
I know you would go.
I'd be like,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
Like, it sucks that I would only go now.
No,
That's
I
my
wouldn't.
opinion because like if he did come to Toronto, I'd be like, yeah, it's not really my
Yo,
priority.
fucking Slump God was here like 2 weeks ago.
Oh shoot, that's his boy.
Black Sweat.
Oh nice.
Yeah.
Some
yeah.
God is sick.
That's his friend, and
Yeah.
they were a little. They were kind of a duo, and I think they had like a falling out or something, and I think they recently did have a performance together, and they kind of pieced it out. but
Reconciled.
I don't know what the details were, but I know Slump posted something, and it was a picture of him, and just said sorry about everything, man. Like,
Wow.
they were friends, man. That's all. I know.
I think we should talk about more of the social media aspect of this whole fucking thing because I feel that played a huge part, not in his death, but like, leading towards stuff like this, like people running up on you, like in every fucking moment. People could just spot you online, like where you fucking are, right?
Location stuff and
And I saw, on Instagram, like there was the minute it happened, they posted him shot in his car.
Yeah.
People were coming up to his, like 4 or 5 people
fucked up.
creeping up to the car, fucking video.
It's so fucked up.
Videotaping
I'm not gonna lie.
before
I
they call
watched
an
it.
ambulance.
I watched it. The first time I watched it, I didn't want to watch
just-
it anymore.
yeah.
I didn't really want to watch it anymore.
I watched 2 seconds of that. I was like, yo, are you fucking serious? Like this guy's dying.
No one's calling any cops or ambulances.
Damn. Like I didn't see any blood or anything. He was just in the car like that.
Oh,
And like I was just like, bro, are you serious? This is the age we live in, like social media fucking age. People rather have that in their story. I'm pretty sure some people put that in their story. Like, oh yeah, fuck, by the way.
A lot of people shared it with me. A lot of people shared it with the MH page. Actually, they DM'd me it, and like I don't blame people. I
mean,
I don't
they
blame
didn't
people.
film it. They didn't.
Right,
Film it.
and I don't blame people for
I'm
that.
talking about the people that filmed it. Like that's the first thing you're doing. Like,
Well, man, like if they didn't take that video, you wouldn't have seen it.
But we still would have known.
I mean,
You would have known.
I listen. I heard of his
I
death
don't think
before I saw the video.
I don't think we necessarily need to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
maybe-
more like, get help instead of like crowding around the car and videotaping. You know?
You know what's crazy? The mentality is like you want to be that dude that has the
video.
got the video,
exactly.
right?
How do you know they didn't call help and then they just started recording?
Even still, that's still pretty low, man.
I know it's low.
Like if you died, and I called help and then I started filming your body, you'd be pissed looking over me.
I honestly wouldn't.
That's because you got a podcast. I'm just joking.
You just saw the ground like, take my clout.
Yeah, take all the clout.
all
The
the
clout
clout.
is now passed to you.
Yeah. I don't need it anymore.
No, but I can appreciate that opinion. Fine, I can appreciate the opinion. I just think there is a level of some.
You do want to
It's
see.
bizarre.
human decency kind of thing.
There is a level of human.
Morality.
Well, that's what I'm
But I
talking
do
about.
understand the point of where like you do want to see it. It's the headline. It's like you do. There is some sort of perversion that makes us want to see these things.
The first thing you
I get
do
that.
is look for pictures or
Absolutely, you do.
The
You
thing.
do. You definitely do. But again, as Booth was just about to say, and I actually want you to iterate that.
Yeah, like there's a question of human decency. Where I just want to reel back to like remember when Logan Paul filmed the body in the suicide forest.
Yeah.
Sort of like the same thing. Like it's like
Also, like
kind of disrespectful in a way. Like,
if it's someone you love too, that's another thing, right? And someone they don't even know. Like if someone close to you died and you weren't there, and someone you didn't know was filming it, you'd be furious.
Yeah,
you know
of
what
course,
I mean?
of course.
unless I don't know. Maybe there are some people who would agree that they would want to see it.
And I get that too.
I mean, yeah.
But that's only because of where we are now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Anyways, I just want to fast forward a bit. It was an arrest.
It's kind of different back in the day if you pull out like your digital camera.
Yeah,
It is very different back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You get knocked out for that, 100%.
Oh yeah, because it just looks like a camera. Right?
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
So, yeah, I just want to say that I was on social media today. They were saying an arrest has been made.
Yeah.
For his murder and.
Oh, shit, I didn't see that.
Some people might go after that dude, man.
was it
The
a
dude had like 10 felonies prior to this.
Yeah,
random robbery, right? Or did he know him or what?
Well, we don't know.
Random. I think it was random. I mean, who doesn't know him?
Was it
You
really
pull up-
random?
Like, you pull up on X, how you not gonna know him, man? That's my whole.
True.
His
You know?
hometown too, right?
I mean, a lot of people didn't really know him. Like he was a commercial but underground artist. It's weird. He had a weird kind of
A lot of
thing.
older people that know him, but when you see the mugshot, you feel like the dude would know him. He looked like a younger. It was a younger
Okay,
black
yeah,
dude,
true,
you know,
I get it.
involved in gang shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't doubt he. Like, listen, like it seemed like he would have known.
Yeah,
who
he's
he
probably a hometown celebrity.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, man.
I hope they got the right dude.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. Like, I hope I hope the police aren't just nabbing some dude to just,
Yeah.
right?
hopefully.
You know what I mean? That's another
Just to
thing.
pin it on him.
That's
Like,
another thing, because like, how can when we question, we've been questioning justice all this time, and like, how do you even know, right? Like,
Well, they did say that like specific details that there were, two guys with red masks or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they literally were at a fucking pizza place eating fucking pizza right after they killed him or something, or right before they killed him. Like it was that casual. Like
Yeah, I know the details a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
but I don't know if we want to go into
fish and chips, please.
I don't know if we want to go
Yeah,
into details,
eh?
but it's kind of fucking fucked up. But anyway, to end this, like I feel that like man, we're losing all the creatives in this fucking hip hop generation now. Like Lil Peep, this guy was, I listened to more of his music after he passed because I didn't really know him. I know you knew him a little bit,
a little
bit of stuff, but like his stuff was way different. X's stuff was way different. I feel like these guys, if they blew up a little bit more, they could have took the genre in a different fucking direction. Right? But it's kind of saddening to see these guys that are pushing the envelope in the genre fucking passing away so young.
Definitely pushing the envelope. Definitely pushing.
I don't want to wish death on anybody, but none of these other motherfuckers are fucking,
Right.
Come on, man.
Until they pass,
And then you go check his shit out.
Until they
Yeah, I guess. Let me not go down that road.
Yeah. No. But I totally get those sentiments. Listen,
It's always these guys.
if you guys haven't listened to X, I urge you guys to just familiarize yourselves with him. Even though listen, it's crazy, and I hate to always harp on this, but listen, like, a lot of you rural area dudes and girls out there think that when you see X, you think he's hip hop, and you guys have this perception of hip hop and what rap music is. Like, this is
There's no hip hop.
There is no, like, the thing is, he had a very versatile sound. It's like you would never imagine yourself rocking to his music until you actually put it on. So just try him out. You know what I mean? And I urge you, listen to songs like Sad. Sad was like one of the songs that got me. It's a sick song. It's actually sick.
It is. It's so different.
It's so different. It's great. I love it. Like, check him out if you don't know him yet. Check at least one of his songs out. And also, like, listen, like, celebrity is just someone like X. I feel like, why wasn't he rolling like with security? He can't roll in peace. That's what it is, right? Like, that's what it is. Why wasn't he rolling celebrity with security?
So
I don't know. No idea.
He literally couldn't
ego.
roll in peace in his hood.
Maybe it was ego.
Fucking ego.
Yeah, like, and again, you don't, and again, to a lot of these rappers out there, like, you don't own the town, you don't own the city, right? Which is crazy.
The hood will get you.
Right.
Move out of there as soon as possible, as soon as you can.
So nuts.
They don't care about you.
So nuts.
They don't care about
I
you.
feel like if Drake pulled up, no one would have the guts to fire on him, though. But he's always deep. Like, he's always
deep,
secure.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
he's always protected.
I'm pretty sure somebody would try something if he wasn't that type of guy. Like if he just rolled solo.
Plus, they don't want to kill him because then they want to hear the bars.
The hits.
They want to hear the bars about how he got robbed.
But same thing with
His next song.
the same thing with EXO. It's like, right? Like, I don't know. It does really suck. It's actually crazy how it unfolded. So yeah,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yo, shouts to X. Check him out. Check his catalog out.
Yeah, cheers.
Check Apple Music out, Spotify. Check out X, man. I mean, and I'll definitely be checking him out.
Good. Next topic.
Yeah, man. Let's keep it rolling.
Do you have something?
Go for it.
Well, I mean, you guys were on Instagram today and stuff too, right? Did you notice they started a little video thing up there?
On
What's it on
Instagram.
today? What happened?
Okay, so there's a little update.
They did
now.
update it though, yeah.
What they're doing now is they're trying to rival YouTube. By 7, they have their own video service, so you could do videos as long as you want. Like I saw, like all these other like things that I follow, like Nat Geo and NASA started putting like 45-minute videos up, like it's a YouTube video you could watch on Instagram. Yeah. So they're trying to, we could basically probably record.
But do they censor the music that you put in your
See,
video?
that's the thing. I don't know. Maybe it's too early to tell. Maybe it's
So
worth
we could like
experimenting.
post the whole episode on Instagram.
On Instagram as a video on Millennial Hipsters on the account.
Okay, fuck.
So yeah, they came out with that update.
Well, fuck you, YouTube.
I mean, YouTube.
I think
I'm not getting paid by them.
I saw a couple episodes
not
where
getting
praising YouTube.
all of these social media platforms are constantly in like this race.
Right,
You can
like-
see like when Instagram has a new feature, then Facebook has to
Facebook
come
has
in,
the
then
Snapchat.
YouTube has to do it, and then
Oh,
when
yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
has
yeah.
the Instagram has to match it, and then Facebook has to catch up. You know?
Facebook and Instagram are one and the same. Just remember that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Facebook bought like Instagram tech.
That's why
right,
when
but-
Which is so confusing because now Facebook has this whole
the
your story
the stories.
thing.
yeah,
and
that's
it's just
why
like your
they're
Instagram.
just using the same technology on different
But
platforms.
why? Because I'm just gonna post it on Instagram. I'm
the
gonna
fu-
post it one
A
place.
lot of people don't know.
The funny thing,
They're like, oh, I don't fuck with Instagram.
Yeah, I
I'll
guess
make
so.
it on Facebook.
It's the variety.
they
of
jacked that feature from Snapchat.
That's another thing.
Facebook-
Snapchat started the whole thing.
Facebook and Instagram, like
Snapchat,
Facebook, like, but it's funny. Everything's becoming the same thing.
The other day, I logged onto my YouTube and I got pushed. YouTube Music was pushed to me.
Oh yeah. See.
I finally got YouTube Music. You told us about this weeks ago. How you can
think
have
you
it's a
did.
separate whole app. It's called YouTube Music. It's not YouTube Red. It's called YouTube Music.
And you can play the music without the
no,
video.
no, no. You gotta buy that. You gotta buy that.
Oh.
But basically, you can get it for free, and it's all music. It's like
You're
Apple
right.
Music.
They tried
but
to
it's
get
free
me for 3 months free or something.
Yeah,
Right. Like
yeah.
a YouTube Premium.
for free.
Free. Yeah. I
Now,
was like,
now,
what the
so
fuck?
basically, YouTube is now trying to compete with Apple Music and Spotify.
Oh god. All
Which
these
is it
apps
plays the
and
music
their.
video?
Plays the video or just plays audio. Actually, they give you whole albums, and you can just play the audio.
Well,
Nothing
you
simple.
But when you hit the home button, it turns off.
Isn't that just Google Play Music? Like, I don't get it.
There it is. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Is it? Or
It's the same thing, but again, like for people that don't know about Google Play Music and fuck with YouTube heavy, like I don't fuck with Google Play, I fuck with YouTube.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? You know what? This is all just Google and fucking Facebook going head to head.
Giving variety, exactly.
Right, right,
That's what
You know,
it is.
because Facebook,
It's like Matt.
Instagram.
It's like Matt Groening making The Simpsons and then making Futurama,
Yeah.
or it's like Seth MacFarlane making Family Guy and then American Dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because YouTube is Google and Instagram is Facebook, so they're basically going with their two platforms fucking head to head.
Like you think you're choosing the competitor. You think you're choosing the other guy. You're not.
No.
You're choosing the same dude.
Yeah.
You know.
Basically-
It's like you're drinking. You don't like to drink Coke. You'll drink Sprite. Coke owns the shit.
exactly.
Like Coke owns them, man. So
You
you're
can't
drinking
escape
the same
unless
shit.
you make your own fucking app.
Word. So I think that's crazy. Check out the Instagram update.
yeah, that's all I was
For sure.
So.
I think quickly though, one thing we didn't cover last week was
E3.
E3. Yeah, I really wanted to quickly touch on E3.
Okay.
There were so many crazy
Slowly.
things about E3.
I mean, that's
slowly. There was a lot to cover.
Let me tell you my favorite part about E3. My favorite part about E3 is all the fucking cringe moments, man. All these game developers getting up on stage.
Nerds aren't good talkers. That's the thing.
A professional like business presentation.
For a video game.
Yeah.
When it should be fun and be like, yo.
Right.
Just awkward pauses.
You know what they should do? They should get like a fucking comedian to present. You know
I would love that.
You know how they get comedians to present like Grammy awards and like Oscars and shit like that?
That's what they need to do.
Huh?
Yeah, like one dedicated host for like
They could
That
make it
is sick.
entertaining.
The thing is, though, is that comedians are gonna have their biases. Like the thing is, a comedian, you can't get a comedian. You need someone representing the company. Right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
a comedian's not gonna fuck with Xbox as much as he fucks with PS4 or vice versa.
And you can't get a comedian to be PC all the way.
That's what it is.
They're gonna be provocative and
right,
shit like
right.
that, right? So
It also hurts your endorsements as a separate
yeah,
entertainer.
and
'cause,
you can't control what they say.
Right.
So-
because if you're at the keynote for fucking Microsoft, then dudes see you on a PS4 commercial or something, you're fucked. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it
then-
is a good idea though.
Yeah.
and like Dave Chappelle Chappelle like fucking hosting Nintendo E3.
But the thing is, then PS4 fans are gonna be pissed. They're gonna be like, "Yo, how's Dave Chappelle like doing this for Nintendo?"
Yeah.
It just creates a lot of confusing,
Right.
and also legally too. Like, it just creates a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
But at least get a professional man.
Or get like a keys. Yeah, get like someone who's good at speaking.
Yeah, exactly. Get somebody entertaining. Don't just get these all these developers know what to do. It's fucking code and make the game, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get them up there to talk.
Yeah, please.
Like, it's just
Check out these cringe compilations on YouTube.
E3s.
Yo, it gets worse and worse every year.
Yeah.
Like, you think they'll brush up on their fucking skills, right? But
let's talk about some titles real quick. I think, like for me, one of the titles that stood out was this fucking samurai game.
Yes.
Ghost of Tsushima.
yeah,
They called it Ghost of Tsushima. Like, bruh, there's gonna be bare memes and jokes about that. I don't know why you had to call it Ghost of Sushi. Like, anyway.
But it's not like spelling. That's like T.
It's T.
U.
sushi.
And then sushi.
Yeah. Sushi. People are gonna be dumb.
It is sick though. It looks
Oh,
great.
that makes sense now.
It looks pretty gorgeous. It looks gorgeous. It's a new platformer for PS4. I think it's for Xbox as well. I'm not even sure if it's for Xbox. I'm not even
I
sure.
don't know. They showed it in the Sony press conference.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe PS4 is trying to
Visuals are crazy.
Yo.
It's like a Japanese art piece. Like that's what you're playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The whole game.
So that looks sick. Check that out. Ghost of Tsushima, spelled with a T. Looks sick. The other thing is that like a lot of these games look sick at E3, right?
Yeah.
And then when they come out, they still look they're still playable, but like they don't look as amazing as when you first saw them, you know?
Yeah.
And that's also, I could be wrong about that, because when we first saw God of War how many years ago, it did look way shittier than how it looks now.
Yeah. But I mean, it did grab me though.
They're in
from like, what
development.
they showed.
Yeah, no, I feel like there's certain developers who boost during E3. Like, you know what I mean? They just hype up their game more than it is.
And they need to, and I totally understand that. I totally get that. So, but all I'm saying is that one of my boys messaged me, Fugo, a prior guest on the podcast, messaged me. I was like, man, there's so many games to order. And the first thing I said to him was, yo, don't do this
Hold off.
pre-order. Just wait a bit.
Hold off.
Because you never know when how many of these games are going to be shit when they come out.
Mind you, they're trying to pre-order to get like 30% off.
That's true too.
Yeah.
That's true too.
I'd say wait until you get a release date or something, or like see some more footage, see some more gameplay, see what, because most of these like early previews are just like literally the best of the game that they're showing, right? Like they're showing the most glossy, shiny, sexiest fucking footage they can, right, to sell the product.
Movie
So
trailer.
yeah,
I love that you use the word sexy. Because it's most dudes are thinking, yo, this game is like I'm fetishizing it. Like, yeah, it's insane. Like, it's totally true. It's so.
So that's what I'd like to any customers out there that want to like pre-order games, like make sure you have all the information first before you like put down that fucking
You can
money.
never do that. You gotta pull the trigger.
And I'm pre-ordering Fallout 76.
But that's like coming out just now, though.
Is it?
It is, no? That's coming out just now. Fallout 76 is right around the corner. Yeah. We won't have to wait too long for that.
Yeah, okay, what are you guys talking about? Cyberpunk?
Oh, yeah, stuff like that. You
Like,
know what I
let's talk
mean?
about
Those
it.
things
Yeah,
are very
that one.
If you're not showing me gameplay, I don't trust any.
No.
That too.
I ain't trying to buy a pre-order off some movie type, and then the world's like, nah.
Give me like 20 minutes of gameplay.
I
Like
need to
let me
see dude
that.
with the controller and the TV and him playing the game.
I need to see the HUD on.
Okay, see the HUD. It ain't that won't show me. Yeah, exactly.
They always play these previews the HUD off, right?
God, no. I
Which-
this is the
Which
game.
brings us to Last of Us 2.
Oh, right.
Right?
So hyped.
That looks dope.
Which
That
looks
dope.
very good, but I noticed during their demo or whatever, it's not
No gameplay.
It's like they tried to make it look like gameplay, but it really isn't, because you see certain things that she's doing, like
Yeah, it's more like cinematic gameplay. It's like they fuse the movie into the gameplay.
Weird.
If it's actually like that, that's sick.
there's no way.
I know what you're talking about though. Like there's like little cutscene moves that she does while they're playing the game, and I'm just like, I don't know if this is like the actual game.
Yeah, there's this one part where like this lady creeps on their car, she like shoots him in the head, And then the way she gets out, it just looks cinematic. Like
the camera like pans around her and shit. I'm just like, I don't know if I'll be able to play that.
And that's why I think, when I look at some of these, like when I look at the, I don't know what it's actually called. I'm using the word keynote. It's probably not the same thing. But when we look at these reveals, when we look at these game reveals, we're still in a time where we can differentiate the CGI from the gameplay, or like the cinematics from the gameplay. And what will really blow my whole shit is when we can't.
Yeah.
Is when we don't know, is this a game or is this the fucking cutscene or what?
That's what I want.
And that's what we want. That's what we long for.
But that's like a movie in real life. Like a movie is shot in a way where
I literally want to be playing it like that. I want to be playing it like I'm watching a movie, like with different fucking camera
then
angles.
You gotta play those games like Heavy Rain, where like you just press one button or something. Like you're not in full control.
The thing is that the way that we play games and the way that games are made in order for the player to enjoy them is that gameplay is always going to have a formula, right? Gameplay will always be third person, first person, one-on-one.
I mean, that's what we're saying 20 years before it happened.
You want control, and there's a certain visual aspect to being able to control your character, right? To be able to play in cinematic, like, and my example is like when you're playing GTA 5 and you're driving a car and you hold circle. And it looks like a movie. You cannot play like that. It's impossible, okay? You need to be a movie director to be able to guide the car the right way when the camera's swing. Like,
they'll do it. They'll do it.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't conceptualize being able to play a game like a movie. I want to be
the director.
You can if you want the game to be a movie, you have to basically like, why are you running everywhere? Just walk slowly like a normal person.
Oh, that's true too. That's the thing. To be a director, to play it as a movie, you can't be like janky, bump into the wall and then fucking.
I want to be like reading the script as I'm playing the game. The script in one hand, the controller like this. I'm just like
so. But I think that's also a challenge of some of these gameplay reveals because we're all sitting here saying, yo, we want to see gameplay, but that's indicative of the fact that there is a certain distinguishing aspect between gameplay and cinematics.
Exactly.
But I do think that's so interesting because one day, I don't know when, but one day
it's going to change.
They're going to figure it out.
It's going to change.
And that's kind of cool. So,
man, moving on. Like, another game is, we just mentioned it, Cyberpunk 2077, right?
2077.
Right.
50 years from...
What is this game? Run it down, because I didn't really look into this.
Okay, so it's a game made by the same guys that made The Witcher 3. Or all the Witchers, I think.
All the Witchers, okay.
And this game's set in the future. It's kind of like you don't like Witcher?
No, I know the game.
Yeah.
Personally, no.
Witcher, it's kind of too crazy, kind of too deep. Like,
you gotta go and walk around.
3 million hours.
Talk to everyone for like an hour.
But so these same guys made this game, and this is set in the future, and it's sort of like a Blade Runner type world. Like, there's flying cars, and from the preview, it looks sort of like a fusion between like GTA Vice City.
I've heard this,
and
it's like GTA
fucking Blade Runner.
Okay.
Basically.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's all they showed. They showed a trailer, so no gameplay yet.
No gameplay. Okay.
But it does look like a good concept. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. They showed off the world pretty nice. Like, it looks like a GTA vibe, Vice City vibe.
I'm not going to discredit your judgment. I'm not going to discredit your judgment, but like, remember when Watch Dogs was revealed?
Yeah.
And everyone was so hype about Watch Dogs.
Right.
And then it came out.
That was like one of the biggest blunders of like.
And it was it wasn't so shit, but it was like
so underwhelming.
It was so yikes.
It's like I have Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, exactly. That's how people felt.
Yeah.
They were like, "Why am I playing this? I have GTA."
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, as I said, we have to see more.
I don't want to log into my phone on the game and control the traffic light. Like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what brings back. One of my boys was like, "Yo, so many games to pre-order." I was like, "Hold up."
Oh yeah, definitely hold up.
Was there anything else? Anyone else saw that Samurai game? Just stuck up.
I didn't see anything else.
I mean, that Samurai game.
Oh, Smash Brothers for Nintendo. That's gonna be insane. I think a lot of people are gonna hop on that. I think.
The Switch.
Yeah, for Switch, every character ever.
I'm not
Smash
a really
Brothers.
big Smash.
I'm not
person,
either.
Just keep putting more characters in this game.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the most characters they've ever had. Like, there's 90 characters.
Every
Oh my
single
God.
character.
Yeah,
ever.
it's like so. It's
Download
crazy.
characters. Oh my god.
It's almost dumb. Like,
I don't think you can download. I think they're
Play with
literally
your
just
me.
from
yeah.
play with yourself. You don't even need the Switch.
Yo, you can play with the Wii Fit woman, whatever the Wii.
She was in it. She was in it before though. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's that crazy now.
But I do think a lot of Smash enthusiasts are hype. Listen, I still fuck with people that have the fucking GameCube from like time, still playing Smash Brothers on their like tube TVs. Okay, super hype about this new release about Smash Brothers. Like there's a Smash Brother community, and it's fucking insanely huge. It's way bigger than the Street Fighter fighting game. So yeah, and I think it'll capture a lot of casual game players too. Yeah, man. And Division 2, another one.
Yeah,
That's another one we're looking forward to. I'm trying to think. There was a lot of
of stuff.
Anthem, the game Anthem.
Anthem, yeah.
That looks kind of cool.
That's gonna be like an online multiplayer.
Yeah, I think that's
co-op
Xbox exclusive though.
kind of thing.
It's gonna
Halo
make you.
6.
Their aim is to kind of make you regret trading in your Xbox.
Halo
One.
6, Gears of War 5.
Yeah.
These are all Xbox titles.
I played Gears of War 4 and it was shit. Like I'm sorry, I was so boring. Like
Really?
it was so. It was just ducking behind things and shooting things and then ducking and then shoot. Like I'm done. Like Gears of War 1 was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing because no one had ever done that kind of concept. But now like you're 5 gears in, it's just come on, give it a rest. Right?
5 gears.
I need a racing game in my life.
Forza.
Yeah, man.
I need a racing game on PS4. That's what I need.
need a new racing game.
So yeah, if you guys know,
This is one game I'm into the really like crazy off the wall fucking kind of games like Burnout and like shit like that. Like there's a game called Rush. You just like you drive off crazy roads, you smash into things.
Right.
There's this game called Onrush that just came out for like all platforms, and like I think I'll get my type of like fix from that game, where it's like destructible environments, you like driving really fast. There's like turbo and all that type of stuff. So I don't know if you guys are into that type of game, like check it out. It's called Onrush.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Check that out.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not into like the racing sims. Like it's too realistic for me. Like I'm just like, yo, why is this car going so fucking slow? Like that's always how it was for me with
I watched the Hot Wheels.
Yeah, like Gran Turismo and shit. Like I was never impressed with those games.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, it looks great, but like, why is this car, like just fucking speed it up? Like, let me crash into fucking
Gran
something.
Turismo
Kill
people are
something.
doing like
Like, why aren't there guns coming out the side of the car?
6-hour races, like
Yeah.
6-hour sessions. Just going around the same lap.
I love those games though. I love strategic racing games to figure out how to beat the computer.
Like racing sims, like
Yeah, like Gran Turismo,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
games.
yeah.
Like I just love like getting my ass kicked in a real life racing situation and
Yeah.
figuring out, okay, wait, how do I do this? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to tail this
It
car.
takes skill
I'm gonna have to swoop this turn. I'm gonna remember this turn. I gotta like, you know what I mean? Like those are the games. Like, but I love crazy arcade
arcade
games.
racers, yeah.
Racing sims and arcade.
I just want to fuck people up.
Right.
I want to like smash them into walls. I want to tailgate them. I want to like make them fishtail. Like I just want to do that type of shit.
absolutely.
I can't do that in real life.
That's
so.
the difference
I
between
know some people try to do that in real life and
Two
not,
different types of racing.
arcade racing and sim racing.
but
So yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, shows to E3. I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see. We're definitely looking forward to Fallout. I know Boof is looking forward to Fallout.
Yeah, I want that.
yep.
I don't know if we want to talk about this, but it's been booming all week. Illegal alien Mexicans attempting to cross the border into the U.S., being separated from their children, and subsequently their children being detained in these detention centers in cages, and then the U.S., the Trump administration facing tons of backlash because of this, and then the Trump administration kind of justifying it by saying, well, these processes are codified in our laws, and I think You know when you see those clips of Sarah Huckabee? I don't know if you guys know who Sarah Huckabee is, but she's essentially like the PR guy for Trump, the PR woman for Trump. And she's standing at the White House giving a brief to all the reporters who are grilling her and asking her questions.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen these like Facebook clips.
I see her, I try to recognize her.
Like she's kind of thick in the
Seen
face.
some of the memes.
She's thick.
She's kind of thick in the face, like she's brown hair, kind of like she's like pretty ugly. Like it's weird. No, it's really like if you see her, you'll know.
Pretty ugly.
If you see her, you'll know.
It's like putting makeup on a pig.
Weirdly enough, but it's like
Miss Piggy.
She's still kind of pretty. Yeah, it's like Miss Piggy. She's still kind of pretty, but she's
like
not.
that.
It's weird. Anyway, I know this has been like a serious issue. Basically, Mexicans that are attempting to cross the border illegally into the U.S. are being deterred to cross the border by essentially by being implicated criminally, and during them being implicated criminally is they're being separated from their children, and essentially this is kind of to scare illegal immigrants who are trying to cross the border from actually attempting to cross the border. It's not deterring anyone.
Yeah, for sure.
People are still
doing it.
Yeah, they're still doing it. And what's worse is that it's a very traumatizing experience for the children who are being detained.
And these kids range from all ages. Right?
All ages, and
They're like babies to fucking like however fucking old.
Doesn't even matter how old they are, they're being detained, and there's tons of them being detained. It's very traumatizing. Of course, they're being cared for minimally, but it's not within the administration or the or within like the military's force to kind of care for these children.
Yeah.
They're being held in cages.
Yeah, they're more like prisoners than
It's
anything.
insane when you see the visuals. They're being fed like unprepared food, like frozen sandwiches, like still ice in the sandwiches, and like just pita bread with peanut butter, and just it's crazy. It's a very daunting experience. I think this is something that people haven't really seen. It's not been pushed in the media. Excuse me. And I think people haven't seen these visuals. And let's not get it twisted. This was happening during the Obama administration. And I think now that people are kind of pressing the Trump administration to change things. Today, if anyone has been following the story, today or in the last couple of days, the Trump administration has actually ruled to
Have them with their parents.
So the issue is that these illegal immigrants are attempting to cross the border with their children, and they're being separated from their children, and that's what's causing the world to react.
They keep the children in the camps and they send the parents back?
They send the parents to... they detain the parents separately, and then they implicate them. They give them charges. So they send them back. They'll send after they're after they're funneled by the criminal justice system. So basically they record their IDs, they record their DNA, everything about them, and then they send them back. And then at that point in time, they're sent back with their children. But the issue is that these people attempt to come back again. Right? And then their children are held even longer, and then they're held even longer. You know what I mean? So it's just a perpetuation. And the thing is that the Trump administration at first wasn't about catch and release. They were about like catching, separating the children, detaining the children, then detaining the parents elsewhere, interrogating them. You know what I mean? Like trying to get as much information. It's crazy. And now I think Trump has actually signed an order to keep the children together with their parents when they are caught. So I just think it's kind of daunting. And I think if people aren't aware of this situation, go read up on it. It's something that's caused. It's getting global attention. And I just think it's
as it should, because you know why? You know it's getting global attention. It's because the U.S. is a democracy, right? And like, they pride themselves on being a democracy. Like the way that they're acting right now is kind of like in a realm of like being fascist and like dictator, like being in a dictatorship, like that's how they treat people, like
crimes of war.
War crimes and whatever, right? So like if they're priding themselves on being like so high and mighty in a democracy and everything,
they shouldn't be like treating people like this, you know, like in inhumane conditions and stuff, right? And I think that's why they're getting a lot of backlash because of their decision making in a democracy, right? This is the type of shit that you do in like a dictatorship. Like you don't give a fuck about people,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like you, yeah.
Sure.
So it's like
No, absolutely.
it's kind of just like conflicting.
I think as Canadians, as myself as a Canadian, I'm seeing when I think about these how the U.S. implicates immigrants. When I look at that as a Canadian, and when I see how the Canadian mosaic is built by immigrants, everything we enjoy here is built by immigrants. It's kind of daunting for me to see these things when we hear things like "go back to your country." You know, it's crazy. The Chinese people own all the sick restaurants. They do all of our girls' nails, bruh. The Portuguese renovate all of our houses.
And half these people are
The Trini people run all the best fets.
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, how can we tell these people to go? If they go back, we are.
And guess what? I think a big. Sorry to cut you off, but one thing that's important when it comes to like everything that you're saying is that a lot of those people are illegal, like in Canada as well, right? But like we still appreciate them, and like, you know, we still treat them with a certain amount of respect and like, you know, humanity, even though, you know, some may be illegal.
For sure.
In the States, they seem to be cracking down on that in a hard way, in a very harsh way.
Ignoring all the other contexts, ignoring everything that they're contributing to the American economy. That's what's going on, right? Because Mexicans out there that are illegal, they're day workers. They find whatever work they can.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they're putting the money back into the economy because they're buying American goods. Like,
I would think they realize, like, if they took all the illegal immigration out of the U.S., like how their econowant would crash.
Absolutely. No, they do realize that, but they keep that shit under wraps.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they definitely know. But they want, like, in my opinion, like, they want you to think that they don't realize that. You know what I mean? But they know if they start...
Because, you know, they want to be on the people's side.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, oh yeah, we're fighting for you. We're fighting to get you jobs.
That's when democracy is like, that's when people celebrate democracy. Like, no, get these people out. This is a democracy. We believe in these values, right? So I just think that, you know, tons of immigrants are here in Canada. Listen, like, I'm not going to fucking toot my own horn. It's just a matter of circumstance, but I used to work for an immigration law firm, and there were tons of illegal immigrants here, putting in work here, then funneling the money that they earned back into the Canadian economy, because what are they going to do, fucking buy goods from Mexico and ship them over? Like, no, they come here, they do illegal work, they get paid under the table, and then they're buying groceries at fucking Food Basics. You know what I mean? Like, so the money is being circulated, and I just think that... you know, it's crazy for us Canadians to witness this happening so close to home, especially when homie just started beef with us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's hard for us not to pay attention to these weird things that are going on over there. And well, speaking of laws and speaking of domestic laws, I think you better introduce this one. You gotta get this one going.
October 17th. Is legalization day.
That nigga marked it in his calendar. He's like crossing out the days until like.
To be honest, I'm not even really excited because
I'm excited.
I'm so glad you said that. Go on.
Because I mean, just the way I use my personal habit, I just do it like it's legal anyway. Like I'll just on
It's gonna change, man.
It's exciting for, you know, investors like me,
stock,
all of us,
stock
whoever,
and anybody who has.
I'd say getting on it now, even if it's not, you know, a lot. Like, you know, I'd say just, you know, take advantage. This is a perfect time to get your feet wet.
What does it mean, publicly speaking? Because you said something in the chat about, like, you know, there's a picture of a guy raising like a fucking trumpet-sized spliff on like the Senate doorsteps. Like, you know, like what is
that's okay?
Listen, like those are the idiots who are gonna.
That's gonna fuck it up. Listen.
Go ahead.
This is what I meant by that, because there's always, like, you know, you give somebody a piece of thread, they fucking turn it into a big fucking rope. You know, and they're pulling it. Listen. They're not legalizing it the way people think they're legalizing it. You're not going to be able to blaze up in the fucking courthouse next to the judge. All right? People think it's going to be like that. People think they're going to fucking ash on the cop's shoes and put it out on his...
put it out on his head, like. yeah.
Arrest me.
Exactly.
No.
And like that picture of that guy basically encompassed like all those fucking people to me. This guy had a fucking marijuana fucking Canadian flag on his shirt. He had the dark shades on with the fucking he had weed shades on. He had a weed New Era hat on. This guy's blazing a blunt on Parliament Hill. I'm just like, no, dude. Like,
That's not what it means, people.
Don't.
It's
Because you know what? Once you guys start doing that and abusing it that way, they're gonna try to put more restrictions on it, even though it's legal. They're gonna be like, they'll slowly start.
Well, I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like
Upping the price.
specifically.
Well, let's be real. Like,
what does it mean?
Yeah, let's be real. Listen, they're gonna treat it like alcohol. You can't, and just like alcohol, you can't be fucking downing bottles at the bus stop.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't be downing bottles in the library. You can't be downing bottles when you're driving.
Yeah,
so it's the same thing. Like,
you can't be doing it around kids.
Yeah.
you know. So I think all
it's a
that
controlled substance.
Right. But
right?
I know what you mean. Those fucking adamant potheads are
We're
gonna
just
be like,
like,
yeah, it's like, like, you know what I mean?
It's lit.
And you know, and especially the kids. The kids are gonna do that, and they're gonna be the first ones to get burned by the law.
Yeah.
And they're gonna wonder why they're getting arrested.
Right.
That's my thing.
That is the
they'd be like,
ignorance.
oh, it's legal.
Listen. To all the people that are going to be involved in this and are going to be indulging in this, make sure you know the law. Okay. After they pass it, make sure you read the law. Read how many pages of the fucking
Can you drink and drive? No. So then smoking and driving.
Yeah. Make sure you know the
Legally.
law. So,
No,
Sure.
you can't.
You know what's crazy though? Gen Z though, I would say though, like I'm not gonna discredit all pot smokers because Gen Z pot smokers are so keen on knowing everything. Okay, like I work with this one dude.
Yeah.
He's like 20 to 23 and he wants to be listen, I'm not saying he's the most informed, but he's very keen, and this younger generation, they're so keen on like wanting to know every fucking thing under the sun, right?
Yeah.
So I think when you're a pot smoker, it's like you want to know those things. You want to know, how does this apply to me? How are the laws going to implicate me? What can I do? What can't I do? And that's great for Canadians because Canadians are already like that from time, you know? Like we always want to know like these are my rights and like you know what I mean?
But you know what? I feel like there's going to be those
There are.
those
And I don't doubt
those
you.
young kids, because if you see it all over social media,
I don't doubt
they
you at
air
all.
themselves out all the time.
Absolutely.
Like they're gonna be in front of the fucking police station
don't
blazing it up, and then the cops are gonna get a hold of that video
Right.
and be like, bro.
Listen, this is public intoxication essentially. It's the same shit. What are you doing?
I know it's gonna happen, but like I'm hoping it's not everybody. Obviously it's not gonna be, but
to speak to what Booth may have wanted to kind of elaborate on is that what he was saying is that legalization is going to change his ways. Fuck it.
Go more into that. Sorry about cutting you off.
Because I really want you to provide that comment.
Yeah, right, go ahead.
Like that's like it's my own personal history. I guess I've been smoking for more than 10 years at this point. I'm a casual.
Casual smoker.
Weed smoker.
Would you say you're casual or habitual?
It's not a habit.
It's a lifestyle. Just say it's my lifestyle.
Sure. Habitual is a bit negative. Let's say like casual is not.
Yeah.
So-
I would say you're like it's more of a lifestyle.
I think lifestyle, that's not a negative connotation.
It's not. No.
People use lifestyle in so
It's
many
not.
different ways
It's
now.
not.
Okay. Well, what about the usage or
baller,
whatever?
that's
Like,
This is how and I definitely I want to let you explain this and I will. I'm not going to interrupt you on that, but this is how weed is different from alcohol because no motherfucker can say, "Oh, drinking is a lifestyle for me."
No.
yeah.
But you can say that, hey, like weed, smoking, consuming marijuana is a lifestyle for me.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can say that and get away
I
with
mean,
it.
it's because of the history. It's because of the history
It
of
is.
both of the substances.
and the
right?
different levels of intoxications are
Like
different.
alcohol is way different than fucking.
sure.
Yeah.
terms of, like-
So yeah, what was I saying? It's not gonna change my usage. I don't think. I don't believe so. I know a lot of people who've been saying to me that they want to quit after it's legalized.
Really?
Some people said that to me. Yeah.
Bullshit.
I don't get that. What do you, like?
Neither do I.
Who said that?
It's not cool anymore.
Who said that to you?
Yeah,
Without name dropping. Without name dropping. Who said that?
the guy I get my stuff from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He said he's gonna quit after.
Yeah.
Because he feels like what? The government is taking is in his pocket. That's my guess. That's just my guess.
I don't know. And see, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Is it still? Am I still gonna be able to get it from my street guy, or am I gonna have to go to
their business is gonna take a hit. The thing is, go ahead.
No. Or am I gonna have to keep? Am I gonna have to go to LCBO, and then
It's
get it
very
from
weird
there?
to think about. You
Yeah.
know,
I'd
it
rather
is.
go to LCBO.
Would you
I mean,
rather?
I'd try it for sure, but that's the thing. Like,
It's very
it's
strange.
a whole strange thing to think
It's
about.
going to take some time for consumers like Booth.
Yeah, like how's it gonna
to be comfortable to go out and go
Yeah.
with a cashier
Yeah.
who doesn't know you, okay? And you're like, yeah, can I get a fucking 80 sack because it's Friday?
Yeah, like,
Yeah, like how much can you buy at once? There's
Right?
So many questions.
So many questions.
How much is it gonna cost?
Actually,
Gonna cost,
then I
that's another
can't.
thing.
Then I'll reiterate, man. I guess I can't really say how it'll change my usage. I just want to say right now that I don't believe it will. But I guess when the time comes, and if we're still doing this cast, I'll definitely have a lot more to say about it. Then I can't elaborate too much right now.
But I think a lot of us aren't dumb to this whole economy because I visit dispensaries downtown. I visited one on Tuesday. I visited one like last week. You go in there, you show your ID, they hit a button, they unlock a door. You can't have your phone out. You go inside, you see the product.
Yeah.
Some of the grams cost 10, some of the grams cost 14. You know,
They sell them in how much quantity do they sell it?
you can get it
per-
however
per gram.
They per gram. So it's like $10 a gram is the street cost. But
Yeah.
these places are charging like they'll have their $10
They have a
grams.
limit on how much you can buy them.
But they'll have things that cost a little more or a little less.
Can you like buy out the store?
Basically, okay, that's an excellent question. So basically, they give you a bag. It's about yay big. Okay.
So bulk
And
bar.
You can't fit. You can't fit
Yo, a
it.
bulk bar for weed.
You only get one bag per
be
customer.
sick.
You ain't trying to fit a QP in there. You know what I mean? A quarter pound. Like,
They give you a little fucking metal shovel.
Yeah.
right? And
Bulk barn.
Yeah, bulk.
and so it's only that pack.
Bud barn.
But so in that sense, there is a limit. There is a limit to how much you can buy. But I will say that a lot of these businesses that are run are going to be wiped out for sure.
Oh, within the first
absolutely.
first couple
This is what the government wants to do.
Yeah.
As soon as it's legalized, they are going to get rid of all that shit. Because what other place can sell you a bottle of Appleton?
Yeah.
Closed.
Yeah.
Nowhere. Except for that Domino's Tamil place, right? Tuxedo Court. Have you ever been there?
Double?
Double. No. Yo, shout outs to Double. They'll sell you a bottle
For $40.
for $40. Yo, shout outs to them. And like people know about this already. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't even know. If they haven't cracked it too, who knows? Fucking the Millennial Hipsters is not gonna be the one that fucking cracks it. Anyway, so yeah, very curious. I think like as an older person who's seen just like how weed has like evolved over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Just the whole culture change.
It's crazy.
Because a lot of relationships are built around this whole, meet up once a week.
Yeah. Like go
Have it up, and then now it's just go to the store.
Now it's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
yo, before you come, go to the LCBO and go to the WCBO.
No. We went through the logo thing. I think
Yeah,
it was
we did go through
the
the logo
Ontario
thing.
Cannabis Store.
What is it? It was OCS? Like, what is it? I'm not sure what the abbreviation is,
Yeah,
right?
it's just the Ontario Cannabis Store, which is alright.
And I think a lot of us know a lot of dealers, man, and we're very curious as to how this is going to affect them because a lot
Their
of these
industry is gonna die.
a lot of these dealers are very dear to us, okay? And I'm going to miss you.
They play an integral part in your
I
life.
you know what I mean? And I don't know, man. Like, I'm going to miss you. I don't know. We're very
But
curious.
listen, what if the government weeds shit? And then you have it.
That's the other
And
one.
then you have
gonna be sick.
That's the
And then
other
you
thing.
have to
Is
get
there
from
gonna
a
be-
dealer. You
Right,
have to
but
get
is
from
there
a dealer.
going to be a variety? Like, how are they
It's
going
gonna
to
be sick,
market
bro.
this?
It's
Like,
gonna be-
What if it's the weakest shit
No,
ever?
I feel like it's gonna be
the government shit is gonna
They'll
be.
always have like
Sick.
they're gonna have like 20 different
Yo,
kinds.
can you think of the names right now? Yo, this is that Parliament Hill, dog. Yo, this is that Royal Ascent.
Trudeau.
Yo, this is that Trudeau, yo. This is that liberal. No, I want the conservative.
I want that Rob Ford.
Yo, give me that NDP. Give me that NDP.
Yo, I tweeted that once. I'm like, yo, who got that Rob Ford?
Oh, yeah.
That was like one of my oldest randomly tweet.
Oh my god! You were asking for crack on Twitter? Oh my goodness!
No, but yeah, that's the thing too. Are they gonna like be
How are they gonna
crack
market
down
it?
on the names? Like
Yeah, like how are they gonna market
call
it?
this shit like OG Diesel and all?
I
this
don't
sour.
know.
OG LCBO.
People
Yeah.
are very curious about that.
And you know how like liquor has like labels, and
Right.
shit?
Yeah.
That's
You know,
another
I think
thing.
eventually they're gonna slap the label, like you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yo,
Like,
think about cigarettes. Think about cigarettes. Like, when they say like it causes cancer and shit. Like, what are they gonna do with weed?
They have
Hot dog. Like,
they have Belmonts, they have Demorier, like for cigarettes and shit like that. Like
oh yeah, brands.
they're gonna make fucking brands.
Like Supreme is gonna have a weed brand.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, I feel like Snoop Dogg and stuff will be on that.
Wow, that's, you know what's crazy? You know what I was thinking? I was just driving thinking stupid shit, and because that's what I do when I'm driving, which is good. I'm thinking about stupid shit. I was thinking about what if someone was in a coma for the past 10 years, okay,
Yeah.
and they woke up and weed was legal, and they seen all they would literally have a heart attack and die. Like literally,
They
like,
think they're dead. They think they died.
like if your
"Oh, I finally
grandpaps
died."
was downstairs for the last 20 years and he never went outside, okay? And then he realized that people are just smoking marijuana freely.
And then you heard come outside.
yeah, word.
You-
And then he had to go
Yeah,
outside.
exactly. He's like, oh shit, somebody's calling me.
Insane. It's like, oh, actually, weed is legal now and the LCBO sells it. And like, you would just die instantly. Like, I don't know. It's just so crazy.
We used to make jokes about this stuff back in the day. We used to be like,
We did.
we were like, oh, legalization. Like, and we used to be like, nah. Like, you
Sean
know,
Paul, man.
It kind of takes the fun out of it.
It
man.
does take the fun.
yeah, that's what the thing is. Like, yeah, like it's.
Very curious.
Yeah, it's-
I think it's just curious. We're just very
And
curious.
it's also like this is huge because this is federal. Like in the states, just state by state. This is a
This is the entire
whole country.
So the only so that's another thing. The only other country that has legalized weed on a federal level is Uruguay. That's it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We are the second country
serious?
to legalize weed federally in all of history federally.
Wow.
So that's statewide. So Uruguay is also, and I know y'all are just booking your flights to Uruguay now, but Uruguay is the only one that federally everywhere.
It's funny because they were in like the world news a couple years ago for outlawing like homosexuality or homosexual marriage. Or
What is
something like
going on in Uruguay?
that. And then they legalized weed.
What is popping out there? What is popping out there? You know what I mean?
Like they
It's
were
crazy.
like they wanted to like put people on a
Well, I
fucking,
mean,
They want
the
to put
name of
people
your
on-
country is you are gay.
they
So-
wanted, they wanted to put people on a fucking stake and roast them for being fucking gay.
That's insane. Yikes.
But yeah, there's all the weed you want though.
Right? There's only one. Maybe we'll turn you hetero. Let's try this.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But yeah, so Canada's the second country statewide to do it. And I think we're all just very curious about it. I think the weed hoodmans will ruin an aspect of it.
Man.
I think the informed young millennial hipsters and Gen Zs will be very cognizant of how the law will implicate them and what their new obligations are in being responsible to the law. Fuck, it's just crazy. And I think also for people that have been smoking weed since like grade school, not me, I have not been smoking weed since grade school, but I think for people who have been consuming it for a very long time, when it was super illegal and now it's the whole dynamic has changed. Like, you know, for example, like people like fucking Loco Mofo. Okay?
Oh, right, yeah,
Like
yeah.
when he sees these things and when he's digesting these things.
Yeah.
And I have examples of my own, but I need one that we can all relate to.
yeah.
Like someone like him seeing this is like he's just sitting there watching the world go by, and what, you know what I mean? It's amazing to someone like that.
Yeah,
To us, it's still amazing. But someone like that, it's like for someone who's in their 40s or 50s, you know,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, man.
I just like the fact that now you can go to the store and you can have selections of like 15 to 20 different things and they each have their description
Yeah.
and you know what you're buying
Yeah. Okay.
for
Right.
the situation.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really hope the government takes it's interesting. I really hope they take an initiative to kind of say, this is where it's grown. This is what's in this product.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a lot of the dispensaries don't.
Yeah,
They
it's
just
just-
say, yo, this is the fucking Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can look up the strands online and it'll give you the whole description.
Really?
Yeah.
But are they static to what's actually being provided to you at the store?
I would think
Like, is it the same thing, or are they just slapping a label on
Because
it?
like when we pick up stuff, you kind of really don't know what you're getting.
The
This is a crisp, light blend.
Right? That's what, like at the LCBO under the beer. You know what I'm saying? Like when you read the description of the beer. Yeah, right.
Distilled 4 times.
Good at black parties.
Made for black. Will get you
Made
lit.
for house jams.
Like there's gonna be this whole culture of like weed connoisseurs, you know, like marijuana connoisseurs, like how all these craft beer guys are.
Craft weed.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel that. Oh yeah.
I grew
It's a matter of time before it ends up on a Canadian Food Network
Oh my god.
in like recipes and shit.
The possibilities are endless.
There's a show like that on Vice where they just cook with marijuana.
Oh yeah. Right.
Oh yeah, it's
right.
Vice.
I mean, when we think about all the implications of how far liquor has come, it's not wrong to assume that weed is going to follow that same avenue and maybe even surpass alcohol, because listen, alcohol has there's a negative connotation. Too much will fuck you up. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Doing this every day will fuck you up, right? Whereas weed, it's like people are daily consumers, and there's been no correlation to anything wrong unless you're doing it young, like, you know what I mean, from a young age.
You bring that up. How long has liquor been legal since Prohibition?
Since Prohibition,
Like what, 200 years?
Early 1900s.
Okay.
I would say.
So that's like
200 years? Like from the 1700s? But
No.
Prohibition was probably like early 1900s.
probably.
Some
that an American thing? Or was that
in
here
the
too?
last 100 years.
that was here as well.
was
That was like
World War One.
I would say the last
That's
100 years.
last 100 something years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, look how far liquor has come since then. So, imagine the beginnings of liquor. They're probably still strict.
But back then we were idiots.
And they were
another thing too.
Just the
They're
thing-
probably still strict.
The same thing about like people smoking weed in public. I'm pretty sure people were drinking all over the fucking place.
true,
Like
too.
you know, like it's legal.
Well, Prohibition era?
Yeah, I'm just saying like when the same thing like how
I think it kind of eased into that. They probably were kind of still harsh on it, like when they first legalized it.
Yeah.
They're still having restrictions. It wasn't like commercially, like, distributed like that. I don't
Okay, I
think. They kind of just like made the law.
Or maybe it was before Prohibition, it probably was a fucking free for all, right?
yeah, before-
and then that's what caused Prohibition, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh my god. What's
So I'm
this?
not saying like they were just like, it's legal now. Bust open the crates, and then they just like gave it to the public. They kind of like easily, slowly. So they might do that with.
I think
marijuana.
for sure. I think we're way smarter now than we were 100 years ago. So I think the process with weed will be accelerated 10, 20 fold.
I'm just saying it's gonna be a while before like this is weed. Like this is the package that weed's gonna be
I
in.
mean like they have their own.
It's gonna be a little while, I think. No,
I don't know. I think I'd have to disagree because we're already doing that.
I'd say it would take a couple months.
Yeah, like we're already
Maybe by
doing
Christmas.
that.
before it's in like a premium package, like it's being sold.
We're literally already doing that with weed, though. You know,
Okay.
it is interesting.
I mean,
that you say
that's in
though.
like private. Like I'm talking about like government establishments.
But the thing
Government
is,
facilities.
another thing is this is a money thing, right?
Yeah.
The government wants to make money, and they know they're already aware of what the established weed wholesalers are doing.
Yeah.
So in order to kind of sell the weed, they're going to have to be on par with those deals, or even go beyond, right?
True.
So you never know.
To keep competition
right?
going.
Right. To keep it steady, so there's no break in the chain,
Yeah.
right? So there may be like Tangeray, OG, like you never know, right?
OG
like
Kush Orange
right?
blend. But like,
Insane. Like I just.
but okay. What I'm saying is like, okay. Yeah, I mean, there is no like government branded liquor, right? They have these are from private.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
These are from private companies being sold in the government.
Import marijuana like grown
Being sold in the government.
But there will be brands. There will be brands who are like Supreme wants to be a brand and get licensed and then sell through the weed CBO or whatever.
Yeah.
There will be that. I'll say there will be that.
So
it
you know
won't
what?
be-
Yeah.
That's how it won't be the government saying like this is OG government OG.
Government
Thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it'll be the same thing as this. Like this is the Supreme brand of OG. This is the Snoop Dogg brand of you know. But imagine how many fucking different kinds of weed there would be if every single brand has 10 different strains.
And are we taking imports?
Yeah,
We're getting imported liquor in Canada.
Yep.
Sure, why not?
Are we getting Mexican weed?
shit.
There are a lot of Canadian growers.
The best stuff is in Canada.
There are tons of Canadian growers. Yeah, like out in BC, they grow on like Peng. Like it's amazing.
So it's only domestic that we're getting.
I think it would be smart
Mainly.
to start domestic, right?
See,
Especially with that whole U.S. shit going on.
See,
like,
so that's what I mean. It's gonna take a while before it gets to liquor
I feel you.
level.
No, I feel okay. I can understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll probably it'll go faster, is what you were saying, right?
Yeah, the process, like figuring it all out.
To get it to this level, but
Right.
like to get it to fully the same level as liquor,
Full conceptualization.
yeah, of how they sell it commercially is going to take a little while, I think.
Crazy.
But
we're all curious. We have
there's
so many
questions, so many.
We gotta take that leap, man.
And Jamiel isn't even a weed smoker.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy, right?
Yeah,
that he's thinking about these things.
To me, I
It's
think,
because I'm an investor. That's why it matters to me, mostly.
Right.
It is interesting talking about it because.
And also, people like think about like from another perspective. Like think about parents who've never smoked weed in their lives, and they're thinking they're thinking about their children or something.
Yeah.
They're just thinking about all those things too. So many different implications.
First mission: get the parents high.
Yeah. Right.
hey,
What I want to say is that big sports happening, big sports event
Oh
happening.
my God! Yeah.
John, do you want to touch on that since you're the
World Cup.
World Cup.
two girls, one World Cup?
I've been working. I've been seeing a couple games.
Yo, Argentina got. I saw the Argentina game and they got slaughtered.
Yeah, they got smashed by
They got
Croatia.
smashed by Croatia.
3-0.
Did they really?
Yeah, they did. It was crazy.
So you haven't been really watching it.
Not today.
A lot of the games are during work, so it's like everyone's workplace has a TV, and the World Cup is perpetually playing.
Definitely. So what's it like in your guys' workplaces? With people watching?
Bear drama, like everyone's talking about the World Cup.
On Saturday and Sunday when I go in, guys are on their phone and they're not supposed to be. There's no head supervisor there, so they just let you. There's like whatever. They're like, yo, you know the game's on.
Yeah, right.
Go.
What's the dynamic in your work like?
There's actually I work with someone who's like a super World Cup head, and like he is literally like the town crier of what's going on. Like he'll just let everyone know.
I'm talking about like nationality wise.
Nationality wise,
like, and who is everybody rooting for? Stuff like that. YouTube.
I don't know. I'm
pretty sure.
Portugal, Brazil.
Okay.
You know what's crazy? One of my friends is like pissed that Italy didn't make it in.
Yeah.
Italy. We're talking Italy.
I have a lot of Russians at my work.
Oh yeah.
And like a couple Portuguese, a couple Colombians and stuff like that. So like those are the teams that are like those are the games that like everyone's hyping up for.
Right.
You hear the clapping and the woo like in the middle of like work time.
Yo, I know Sri Lankans are putting on for Germany.
Yeah, I don't know why that's a thing.
What are you talking about? That's like the homeland. What do you mean?
Move out there,
Bro, like Tamil people are like
a lot of Tamils in
Germany. Yes.
Okay.
There was a guy named.
I would never knew.
There was a guy named Germany at our high school. He was Tamil, dog. They called him Germany because he came from Germany.
Right? I didn't know his name. They just called him Germany.
Do you have a German accent?
No.
I'm just asking.
Sorry.
He came from Germany.
It's so crazy. But like Sri Lankan people, like Tamil people especially, like they ride for Germany. I really found it surprising that Italy didn't make the qualifier, which is crazy. Like,
U.S. didn't either.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not the best, but like usually they make it in world sports.
Italy is like that's when you think of soccer, man. I used to go to my boy's house. He's Italian. Like, bruh, like after dinner they pulled the soccer ball out right away. Like right away. There was no argument.
No board games.
If you couldn't do keep ups, bro, like you better have your keep ups on point. You know what I mean? And also, speaking about World Cup and soccer, Toronto is eligible to host the World Cup.
2026?
2026.
Oh, right. Man. Yeah, I heard that.
And a rule about the World Cup is that where it's being hosted, the domestic team has to play. So therefore, the TFC has to play in the World Cup. 2026. And people are nervous.
TFC or Team Canada?
Oh, yeah. Nah.
They become
If it's in Toronto, they'll become Team Canada. Yeah. But if it's in Toronto, the TFC essentially will be Team Canada. They'll represent.
Yeah. Because we're one of the biggest teams in Canada.
But they're not all Canadians.
But the TFC will play as Team Canada.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure. Because where are we going to recruit players? That's what I'm
We
saying.
have a Canadian team.
We have Team Canada? Really? There's a Team Canada soccer team?
I think they're just not good enough to
But
make
why would we not just use TFC?
because they're not Canadian. You're playing. This is like the Olympics.
It has to be domestic?
Yeah, all the players
have
who
to be
play are
domestic?
from that country.
No way, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like an idiot. No way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not.
Wow.
It's not going to be FIFA Toronto. It's going to be FIFA Canada, right?
Yeah.
So they have to
Yeah, it's
recruit
a country
everybody from
thing.
Canada. It's going to be hosted in Toronto.
Oh, it's FIFA Russia right
Just
now.
like it's Russia
World
in Seoul, Russia, right? Seoul?
They don't even say that.
No, that's Korea.
That's Korea.
No. What's their fucking city?
Croatia?
No, in Russia.
I forget.
Fuck, whatever.
Just whenever they see, I just look them. It says 2018 Russia.
Yeah.
It doesn't even say where it is.
Exactly, but it's in one of their most popular cities. But like, I mean, they don't even shout out the
Moscow?
city. No, not Moscow.
it's not Moscow.
Moscow is like their Ottawa.
Okay.
Yeah, it is their Ottawa.
They're wherever they are is their
Hold
Toronto.
up, so everyone on the team is from the
Yeah,
country?
you did.
We're gonna get bodied, bro. We are gonna get destroyed.
But it's our only. No, look at this year. There's a lot of upsets.
Yo, there's
Argentina getting.
Argentina got bodied.
Yo, there are a lot of young and up and comers, like, you know,
True.
from
Alright, yo,
from Gen Z.
Yeah, true.
Gen Z, like,
yeah, this is true. We have a very diverse population. I shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's true.
From
It's like,
Gen Z.
I feel like it's gonna be like 11 Canadian dudes and a dog. Like, nah.
That's why they're so passionate about it because they're representing their country.
No, I
Yeah.
feel you 100%.
Like our athletes are getting better. Like I feel like
Absolutely,
you know, what's that guy? DeGrasse.
DeGrasse.
From fucking
Yeah, how can I
Pickering.
say that?
He
Yeah,
dusted in
he
fucking
did dust,
the Olympics.
How can I
Like,
say that? You're right. You're
so
absolutely
the
right.
young players are coming up.
Canadians are hyped about that 2026. They
Yeah.
are so hyped. 8 years away. I don't give a fuck. They are ready for World
This
Cup.
is the Drake generation
I know. Yeah.
coming up.
Shouts to the World
Drake
Cup.
Gen.
Keep up with the World Cup. Russia's killing it though.
Yeah.
Like Russia's putting on, man. Like they don't give a fuck.
Ronaldo's killing.
Yeah, Ronaldo is killing it too.
Hat trick in his first game.
Oh, I saw that. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Like what?
I think he's just a pretty boy.
It's
but he can
one
play.
man, no, that's the thing. He's tired of that narrative. You see,
Yeah.
he's getting older, and he's tired of the narrative. He's like,
Oh,
listen,
pretty boy.
right. He's so tired of that narrative, and he's like, I'm gonna put it on right now.
He's legit probably the best player.
World Cup is like where he shines, and it's been years since the World Cup is. He's up in here in magazines and fucking gelling his hair, but now he's ready to go. You know, which is insane, amazing. It's amazing to be a poster boy and still have the talent on the field.
Soccer
Yeah.
is the most global sport.
Right.
Yo, for a weekend game, we should hit up a fucking patio, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I'm gonna see all my fellow Torontonians out there hitting with the
And
World Cup.
tomorrow's the last week of it, right?
I'd say also that Canada is so enthusiastic about these international events. Like no other, like a lot of countries are sure that, but they're very patriotic to their own country.
Yeah.
Whereas Canada is like, if Russia scores a goal, if Argentina loses, if Ronaldo scores, like we're so passionate.
I would say it's
We're
like
so,
Toronto.
You know someone from that country.
I would say
No, I don't know. I don't associate with.
yeah,
Like,
I would say it's
don't.
Toronto in specific because, like, you know, we're the city of immigrants.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, each little pocket of the city is like
Has a little Portugal. We have a little this.
Oh yeah, a little
Italy.
bit. I mean, I don't know how the rest of Canada is, but we're
we do.
very into our soccer.
You're right.
You know,
Toronto
in
loves
Toronto,
the
definitely.
World. Toronto loves the World Cup. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, go.
Yo, that was a good wrap up. Still, I think we really hit it up. Yo, check us out. Check us out on Instagram, episode 18. Yo, shout out to everyone that supports us. Shout out to everyone that just watches random clips of our videos, and we love the support. And we do this for you. And check out World Cup. Check out XXXTentacion.
Yes.
Check out E3 clips. Check out what's going on in US with all the immigrants at the border. Stay informed and stay rocking with us. Millennial Hipsters, episode 18. What's up? Peace.
Oh, yo, it actually stopped when you said I hate black people.